So let's master estimates of location or measures of central tendency. So measures of central tendency is nothing but is also known as a measures of central location. So or statistical measures. These are all statistical measures that describe the typical or central value of a set of data. They provide a way to summarize and describe the central value or center of a data set and are commonly used in data analysis, descriptive statistics, and inferential statistics. So I will repeat it again. So central tendency, measures of central tendency or measures of central location summarize. These provide a way to summarize and describe the central value or center of a data set. Central value or a center of data set, that's why we call them as a measures of central tendency or measures of central location or estimates of location. So there are several commonly used measures of central tendency including mean, mode, median. However, we will begin with mean. So the mean is one of the central tendency. So the mean is the sum of all values in a data set divided by number of values, or it represents the average value of the data set. Most oftenly this is called as average. So and widely known, mean is widely known as the average, average. So the mean or average is the sum of all the values in a data set and divided by total number of values of all the data points. So the formula for the mean is, for example, y bar. That's how we represent the mean. If it is population, so y bar is equal to y1 plus y2 plus n so on plus yn divided by n number of y's. That's the number of values. So in another representation, another way of representing the mean or average is y bar is equal to summation or sigma of yi and divided by n. So this is another way of representing. So here, so y is under the sigma, you will have I is equals to 0 till n. So that's the accurate mathematical representation of mean or average. So now we will take one example, a simple example, then we will get into the real world data. Okay, let me create a new file here, IPython. So I'm going to call this as summarizing data. So first one is measures of central tendency, and I'm gonna put one. So out of that, 1.1 is mean. Okay, so let's begin with the mean. Simple example. Let's import the pandas. Import pandas as pd. Done. So pandas has been imported. Now let me copy the score. Let me check the score. Okay. Yep. So let me make it as DFM. So let me print the DFM and see. Yep. So this is what is our data frames, 29. If you, this is what our data frames. So total, these are the scores of 29 students or 30 students. So now we need to calculate the mean. How will you do it? So to calculate the mean, let me calculate the mean. So mean is equal to, that's the variable name, and data frame DFM, that's our data frame, and DFM. So, and selection bracket, and inside that I'm gonna use scores. This is for indexing. So now I have indexed the respective series of scores. Now I'm gonna use simple mean method, and let me call the mean. Sorry, let me print the mean. Print mean is this. That's it. So the mean score of this data frame of this score series is 84.4. 84.4. It's somewhere around here. So 84.4. That's the average score that class has scored. Okay. So now we'll take a few more examples from the real world data set. Okay. So first I'm gonna call up a players is equal to pandas dot read CSV and soccer. I think our players are ready. Yep, that's it. So our players are ready. So here my point of my variable of interest or my feature of interest here is weight in kg or height in centimeter, because these are our variables. Okay. Now what I'm gonna do is, let me take the weight in kg, and so I want to see the average weight. So I want to find out the average weight of the soccer players. So average weight of the soccer player. So let me do it, players, and then it's weight. Yep. Then I'll directly use mean, and 72.6534. This is the average weight of the soccer players. So now average height of the soccer player. Again players, and height in centimeters dot mean. So so 177.45 centimeters is the average height of the soccer player. So this is how we leverage the mean. We leverage the measures of central tendency to understand the the central point of the data, or center location of the data. Let's take a few more examples. So this time I'm gonna call upon, just let me cross check. So hands on, I'll go for the unit sales data. Yep. So sales, I'll put the sales is equal to pandas dot read CSV, and inside I'll go for the sales, unit sales. Yep. Sales. Yes, this is our sales data. So what I'm gonna do is, here my point of interest is either you can see average unit sales, but I'm not much worried about that. I want to see average expenses, average ad expenses, total average ad expenses, and average promotion expenses. That's what I want to see. So what's the average expenses, average money that is spent on ads? Okay. So again, so sales, and its ad expenses and I'm gonna put mean, and here is the data. It's 50.153. That means it's a $50,153.3. That is on an average they have spent. On an average they have spent. And similarly, what's the average dollar that's spent on from what's the average dollar that's spent on promotion? So again, sales and promotion, again mean, and it's $59,875. Okay, so now let's look into the one more data. This time it is store details, no customers buying pattern. So it's again customers is equal to pandas dot read CSV customer buying pattern, and you want to see the data. It's a customers. This is what the data is, our data frame. So 440 rows and 8 columns. So I'm interested about the average liters. The fresh juice was sold, and the average liter the milk was sold. Let's look into the one by one, but before that let me check the column headers. So it's customers, columns, yep, sorry, columns is an attribute. So this is my columns. Now let me get into the question. So one, what's the average, what's the sales, what's the average liters, what's the average liters in average liters what is the average fresh juices were sold in liters? Okay, and as usual, customers, it's a fresh juices. I'm gonna put it as a mean. Yep, it's okay. 12,000.29. This is the average. These many liters on an average. These many liters were sold. And second, on an average, how much of the milk were sold in liters? Again, back 5, and customers, milk, and mean. It's 5,796.265. So now a third question that arises on an average, how much of the frozen chicken was sold in kgs? Yep. So customers, it's a frozen chicken, and dot mean, and it's a 3,071.93 kg of frozen chicken was sold on for that time period. And anything else you want to check? Detergent paper. So customers, detergent paper, and then mean It's 2881 kg. So that's how we leverage the mean or average. That's how we leverage the mean or average. It gives the information about the central location of our data set.